Hey, it's Richard here, and today I'm going to show you how you can make delicious, juicy chicken in a very short period of time and have enough for tomorrow so you can make your chicken Caesar salad or a salad or whatever it is that you're going to do. But we're going to have delicious chicken. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. Now, this isn't professionally cameraed, it's one camera myself, but I'm doing this in real time so you can follow along as well and see how easy it is. I realize that you're a busy person and being in the kitchen is not your career, so we're gonna make this simple, efficient, and easy to do. All right, let's make this chicken. What I'm gonna do is I just put in about 2 tablespoons of salt into some water here, and I'm just gonna mix it up. Now, this is one of the secrets to make it really, really juicy, is just by having this brine. So it doesn't have to be totally dissolved. Just like that, we're gonna put the chicken in, and to make sure that it's all, the water's covering all the pieces. Perfect. If you need to add a little more water, you can do so. I'm just using regular tap water here, pouring it in here, covering it up. And I'm gonna let that sit for 15 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna preheat the oven to 450 degrees. And let that cook. So in about 15 minutes, the oven's gonna be ready, and so will this chicken. So I'm gonna put this aside for now. Actually, I'm just gonna leave it here for now. And I'm going to start off with making some rice. Now, the rice isn't going to be for your dinner. What you want to have is more of your complex carbohydrates in the morning and lunch, and at dinner time, really have a reduced dinner. When you do that, your digestive system is able to get rid of the food and work on your other systems, repairing the body, and actually really getting more in sync and unison with everything else. So that's a strategy. You're going to front load your meals, your main calories in the morning and lunch, and then a little bit less in the afternoon. And you can actually burn up to 300 calories just by doing that, because your body's digesting that food. So it's actually a really good weight loss strategy as well. So we got the chicken in the brine. I'm gonna get rid of this here. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 1 cup of brown rice. It's just from a package. I mean, I just go as simple as Walmart and grab brown rice. Doesn't need to be organic. If you want it, it's okay. But the key thing to this though is you wanna soak it or rinse it in cold water. When you rinse it in cold water, there's a lot of excess starch on the rice. And by rinsing it, you're rinsing out all that starch. You don't need that. You want to reduce that as much as you can. So I'm going to give this a little rinse. Wait until all that cloudiness goes away. And if you have a rice cooker, that's going to be your best friend. You can use a lot of different things with a rice cooker. If not, you can put it onto the pot and cook it in a very similar fashion. However, for the sake of time and efficiency, I recommend you going out and get a rice cooker if you don't have one and using it, because we're going to use one today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this in. I'm going to put in this brown rice. Okay, just like that. And then I'm going to add 2 cups of water. 1 cup of brown rice, 2 cups of water. 1, let's just use this here. 2. And then just a little pinch of salt. A little less than a teaspoon. Okay, so we got the rice cooking. I'm gonna turn that on, get that going. Now in about 20-30 minutes, that rice is gonna be ready. And again, we're not gonna eat that tonight for dinner, we're gonna have that for tomorrow. So we can always just have that cooking and then set it aside. Perfect. Okay, so we got some coconut oil, that's all set there. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna just either get the broccoli prepared for steaming, or if you don't have a steamer, you can slightly boil it too. So I've got the broccoli here. Cut off the bottom, and then you're just going to make some cuts onto this as the broccoli pieces come off. And I'm using 1 medium broccoli. Now, broccoli is really important, especially nowadays with a lot of the pollution in the air. Broccoli has known compounds in here to actually remove toxins from the lungs and expel them out. So it's really important, especially if you're a smoker, to eat a lot of broccoli. These little trees are amazingly beneficial for you. Okay, so you can cut them down into little more sizes. And from there, this was already rinsed, by the way, so you can rinse your broccoli first. If not, if you already cut it, you're with me now. You can rinse them already. You can put them into the same strainer as you did with the rice. Just like so. And just rinse them off. Okay. I'm going to get these prepared just by putting them into the steamer. I don't mind the little broccoli on the floor. Okay, and then I'm going to put some water into the pot. Now if you don't have the steamer, you can just use the pot and put it in here and just add just a little bit of water just so you're doing a soft boil on it. And the benefit about that too is you can use this liquid after, once all the broccoli is actually drained in, you can use this as a tea. It sounds kind of different, but it's actually really beneficial. So you can use broccoli water as a tea. Who would have thought? We're gonna have that on there for now. Everything's set up in that regards. So what we can also do too is get ready for the salad tomorrow. So we're gonna be all set up for everything that we're doing so that come tomorrow and for dinner tonight, you're gonna have a beautiful meal. Tomorrow, you're gonna be all set. There's not gonna have any stress at all. You're gonna be prepped, ready to go. So let's do that right now. So I've got my lettuce. Okay, I'm gonna give it a quick rinse. I'm gonna peel off about 8 to 10 pieces of leaf, which basically would almost be the whole thing. So really what you're looking at is eating this whole piece of lettuce in a meal. Okay, that would be goal. Very, very high in nutrients, especially romaine lettuce. And it's filling yet low calorie. So it's a really good way to have quality nutrients in a low calorie way. Okay, so we're just gonna rinse these off. Now the nice thing about the green in salad and lettuce is, I'm just gonna grab a paper towel here. Is this stuff called chlorophyll. Now chlorophyll actually has the same sort of structure as a red blood cell. However, it can be used to transport other chemicals out of your body instead of a red blood cell just transporting oxygen. So the green is good. Green is a good thing to have. Okay, so we have all these broken off. In fact, you don't even really need to. You can just cut the bottom here. Give that. That goes to the chickens. If you don't have chickens, it goes where you put it. And I'm just gonna make some cuts here to make the leaves a little bit easier to chew. And I'm gonna make it into however thickness you want to enjoy them in. Personally, I like it to be about an inch thick, like that, because you can really get your fork into it, and it's not like you're scraping down the very bottoms of it trying to get every little piece. Sometimes these lettuce leaves are like a little dance. You get the fork in there and it moves out of the way every time you try to get it. So I like to have a little bit of a bigger piece there. This is all set now. What I'm gonna do is put it into my bowl. Like so. And that cloth that I was using earlier, I'm just gonna put that in there, just so it soaks up a little more of that water. Okay. In fact, if you're really brave, you can flip it upside down and it can collect a little bit more. This is something I do all the time. It works well. Okay, so now the salad is getting ready. Now we want to add a few more things to that salad to make it a little more enjoyable. And one of the things I like to do is add what's called a rainbow variety of colors, some rainbow colors. So pepper, for example. Now, depending on the size, you don't have sort of a medium size. These are kind of what I have, two small ones, but it's nice because they're smaller and they're both two different colors. So you got a lot of vitamin C in here, beta carotene, really good nutrients to have. So rinse them first. When you get your groceries, you always want to pre-rinse them anyway, which is what I do. But to set a good example, rinse your vegetables. Doesn't have to be much. Cut the top. I'm going to show you a really cool way that you can cut these to make it quite efficient. So you take the top, pop the top, there's the stem, that's gone. Stem's gone. And then follow the groove and you just cut down along the sides. There's your seeds, don't need that. And you're left with some really nice workable pieces of pepper. Same thing with the other one, just cut along the sides. And you can add tomatoes to it if you like. However, if you're experiencing heartburn or you have heartburn symptoms, you do want to avoid what's called the nightshade vegetables, which would be peppers, eggplants, spicy foods, that sort of thing you want to try to avoid. So in this situation, I'm just going to add peppers to it. And your salads don't need to be complex either. This is really going to be filling already with the amount of green lettuce that you have. Plus you're having broccoli tonight. So your salads don't need to be complex. You're going to still get a rainbow variety of foods throughout the meals. There we go. There, so now you got some nice workable pieces of pepper, and we can add to the lettuce. Give it a quick little dry. Fluff up the lettuce a bit, put these in. Okay, now we're starting to work with something here. What I recommend is not mixing this up. Okay, when you mix it up, all the heavy stuff is going to go to the bottom, and then all you're doing is just scraping greens out and not getting any of the variety. So as I'm putting this in, I'm going to leave it in until I eat it. Okay, so from here I'm going to add just a couple more things. I'm going to grab a carrot. And rinse your carrot off. Now, the nice thing about carrots is carrots can be pretty crunchy. They may not be necessarily enjoyable for you, but because they're a solid vegetable, they're easy. They take more time to digest, so you're actually burning more calories eating carrots than you would be eating something like the lettuce, for example. So what I'd like to do though is take a grater and just grate the carrot in. That way, if you do mix it up, the carrots aren't going to fall to the bottom of the pot. They're still going to be quite light. There we go. Mix that a little bit in there. So now what you got some yellow, green, orange, and red colors in here. You get an ample amounts of nutrients. And on top of that, when the chicken's done, you're gonna be getting the protein as well. And it's gonna taste delicious because we're gonna spice up we're gonna put some flavoring on the chicken before we bake it, and it's gonna taste awesome, okay? So now we got this going on, your rice is cooking, your chicken's brining, your oven's on getting warmer. time to take a break, take a breather, and relax. And we'll see you in a minute. Now I'm going to show you a really simple way to make a salad dressing that's not only really beneficial, but it tastes awesome, and it's only 2 ingredients that you really need to have. Here it is. So, there's a couple different options that I like to use. You've got hemp seed oil and this omega-369 blend. So in North American diet, we get a lot of omega-6s in our diet. That's a lot from the processed foods. Omega-6 is going to cause a lot of inflammation in your body, and that's when you get sore joints, inflammation. So you really want to balance it out with omega-3s, but having these liquids, omega-3, 6s, and 9s, they're going to be really beneficial for your cells, for lubrication, for brain health, for general lubrication, I think if I said that, for skin health. There's a lot of benefits when it comes to taking omegas. And one of my recommendations is to take 1 tablespoon for 50 pounds of body weight. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a really nice salad dressing with this stuff. And it's super simple too. So I'm gonna just take some of the 369s here. I'm gonna use the Omega Nutrition kind for this one. I'm just gonna put in about a tablespoon of the oil. If you wanted to put a little bit of each in, you can. In fact, let's just put in just a little squirt of this. Oh, there we go. About a teaspoon of that. And then ideally you want to use Bragg's organic amino acid soy sauce. It contains all of your amino acids, so it's going to help with your protein levels. In this case, I'm just going to use soy sauce. It is a little higher in salt, so if you do have hypertension, just be sparingly on this. I'm going to add about half a tablespoon. Okay, that's it. That's the recipe. What you can add if you want a little more spice and some flavor, I'm going to add in a little bit of parsley. Just a little bit of parsley into this. And if I really want to get crazy, I'm going to add half a shallot. Now you don't necessarily need to. Shallots are fairly low in calories, but it is really nice to have for flavor wise, adds a little bit more nutrients. And it's a different color, right? It's another part of the rainbow that we can enjoy. So I won't even add half a shallot in this case. I'm just gonna add a quarter. Finely chopped. If you want to add garlic into it too, by all means, add garlic in as well. Great for the immune system. There we go. Now the oven's ready. That means that this has been brining long enough. Just gonna mix this up. Perfect. And I'm not gonna put this in until I'm ready to have my lunch, okay? So I'm actually gonna put this into a little mason jar and keep it, or just a container, because you don't want the salad to go wilty. Okay, so now actually this is all finished, so I'm just gonna saran wrap it. Okay, I'm gonna put my sauce on top. I'm gonna stick it into the fridge. And before I do that though, I'm gonna take the brine. I'm gonna dump all this out. Okay. Gonna rinse it, get that salt off there. The salt that we need has already been soaked in. Okay, and I'm gonna pat them dry. And what I mean by pat them dry, I'm going to take these, stick them onto a paper towel. Like so. A couple more pieces here. Do that, give this a quick little rinse. Dry it. Okay. Now we're going to take this coconut oil. Okay, coconut oil here. Very, very good fat for you. It's one of the most healthiest fats you can use for cooking because it has a high heat temperature and also contains a lot of the fat soluble vitamins in it as well. So I'm just going to put this in the microwave. Just going to give it a quick melt because we're going to baste our chicken with the coconut oil. Take those off, going to check out the paper towel now. Now it doesn't have to be solid either. This will quickly melt. Okay. So that's actually pretty good. That's fine. This is about a tablespoon of coconut oil, and I'm just going to baste it onto the chicken. Now you can use unsalted butter as well. The reason why I say unsalted is because a lot of the people that I work with have high blood pressure, and you want to reduce the amount of salt intake. And if we're putting the soy sauce on as a salad dressing, you already have quite a bit of salt as it is. Okay, so I'm going to take that, flip it over, because we're going to do both sides. So some people have asked, isn't it better to cook the chicken at a lower temperature, like 350 degrees for 30 minutes? I like to do 450 degrees for 15 minutes because one, the internal temperature is typically bang on, and with that high heat, it seals in the juices quicker and it gives it a nice crisp coating on the skin. So it's really nice to have. Okay, so we're going to put a little more oil on the top part here. Just like so. Okay, and those are ready. Now if you want, you can add some pepper to it. Well, that didn't work. And I like using this too. It's Bragg's organic sea kelp, so you can get a little bit of some flavoring in that way as well. It's not necessary. Basically, just season it the way that you want to have it seasoned. That's going to taste really nice. I'm going to put just a little bit of fennel on it just for a little bit of flavor. Boom, just like that. We're going to stick this into the oven, middle rack. Set the timer for 15 minutes, and we're going to be golden. We'll see you soon. All right, we're back, and during the time that we were gone, chicken's still in the oven. All I've done is just clean my dishes because, again, efficiency is the key. And if you're in the kitchen already, you might as well take care of the dishes that you already have. That way, when you're done eating, you don't have to get up and do it again. We've got momentum right now, so let's keep that going. Momentum is key. Okay, so all it does is did the dishes, the rice cooker is cooking, the salad is still just kind of mingling, and the broccoli is ready to be boiled. So all I'm going to do now is I'm just going to turn on the pot to cook the broccoli, and that's going to start cooking. And by the time this is done, chicken should be done too. We're going to have ourselves a great simple dinner with the ingredients ready for tomorrow's meals. In the meantime too, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get out some steel cut oats and we're gonna start soaking those grains for tomorrow's breakfast. Okay, so tomorrow's gonna have delicious steel cut oats. All right, so the chicken has just come out. The timer has gone off, 450 degrees, 15 minutes. So we're gonna turn this off. Oh yeah, that's good. Those are looking awesome. Now from here, I'm not quite done yet. You wanna let the chicken sit and just let the juices still stay in. So I'm gonna take a little bit of foil. I'm just gonna cover it nice and light, nothing too serious. And let that sit for another 15 minutes, which is fine because the broccoli's still gotta cook a little bit longer. Everything else is still kind of working its way out. So let that sit for 15 minutes. It's gonna still keep heating up, but the juices are gonna stay intact. It's gonna be wonderful. Don't cut your chicken yet, okay? You can check the temperature. Make sure that's at to the right temperature, 165 degrees Fahrenheit, and otherwise leave it alone. All right, it's been 15 minutes. Let's check out this chicken. I'm just gonna take one of them out. I'm gonna take one out for dinner. Oh yeah. I'm just gonna put that on the plate. Now again, dinner is simple, okay? Don't expect too much out of dinner. You've already had the calories that you want from the start of the day, and now you're just tapering them off to having a smaller meal at night. But a big portion of protein and some vegetables is a great way to end your night. You're gonna regulate your sugar levels, repair and build your muscles, and have a really deep sleep. Okay, so got the chicken out. Our broccoli is now done. Okay, so I'll take this here. I'm gonna put this broccoli out. Now, it's a large portion. Okay, so it's about 2 cups of broccoli. I can take the rest of the chicken once this is done. Let me just finish this off. It's got this here, chicken, broccoli. Like I said, we can use this juice. A little bit of color, okay? If you boil the broccoli, it's gonna be a little bit greener. This is steamed, so these nutrients are gonna be in there. You can even put in those broccoli once it's cooled. You can put it into your salad for tomorrow too. It's gonna be a great option. So for now, we've got this. I'm going to take some more of those 369s, okay? I'm going to sprinkle it onto the broccoli. Sprinkle, just as you saw. So it'll be about a tablespoon in total. You want to just sprinkle that on. Again, 1 tablespoon for 50 pounds body weight. That's your goal. So now we're already at, basically if you're 100 pounds, you've reached your goal, right? I'm gonna put that away. And we've got all the seasoning we need, but if you want, you just add another little pinch of salt onto the broccoli. And really any other herbs that you may want. Although for me, this is perfect. Great dinner. Very, very simple. If you wanted to add a few more vegetables to it, you can. If you wanted to include some of your salad that's sitting on the side, you can add a little bit of that as well. No problem, okay? That's it. That's your meal. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the rest of the chicken and we're gonna prepare that for the salads for the next few days, okay? So I'm gonna take this off. Now of course it's pretty hot already, so you don't really need to do too much with it. The coconut oil is still in there. It's in the pan. And that's also really beneficial too. It does have some of the chicken fat in there as well. If you wanted to use that as like a seasoning or dressing, you can, although for what our goals are, we may want to just omit that. So we'll leave that for now. You got a lot of the fat still already, so I'm gonna just put this down to the side. We're gonna recycle the foil. a little Tupperware out. I'm gonna start cutting up this chicken. Grab the knife again. And just because it's hot out, you like to use the tongs. And we're gonna cut into it. Oh, and it's so juicy. Give you a nice look at that. Look at that. Delicious, juicy, beautiful chicken. Perfect for a salad. How could you not look forward to eating this tomorrow? So I'm just cutting it into bite-sized chunks equivalent to the peppers and the lettuce that we cut up earlier. Same with these ones. Cut them up nice and to what your desire is. And last one here. And see, you still have all this flavoring on top of the chicken too. So that's gonna also go into your salad. It's gonna add a little more flavor, get a little more zest to it. So it's gonna be all around. This is a very well married lunch. There you go, and I'm just gonna put that into some Tupperware. And if it's still pretty hot, I wouldn't put the lid on yet. You want to let it cool down still. So let's put these in. And what you want to have is basically one chicken breast for every salad you have. So you've got 3 meals here for 3 different salads, or you can use these chunks for another meal at another time. But talk about efficient, hey? You got your dinner ready, you got your lettuce already prepped, you got your chicken all set up for the next day. The rice is just about done, and once it's done, you can get it cooled off in a Tupperware, just like so. And then you can put it into your salad, half a cup into each salad. So you should have a nice, basically 3 portions for this as well. That's it. There's 2 meals, 1 go. Hope you enjoy. We'll talk to you soon.